Hello my crafty friends, this is Monica from Allsewpetite. Welcome back to my channel. In this tutorial I will show you how to make an eye mask. This is a fun and quick project, perfect for any beginner. You can make the eye mask with the elastic casing or use a fun and colorful elastic instead. There is a free PDF pattern for this project that you can download from my website. I will include the link to the pattern and all supplies I used in this tutorial in the description box below. And let me know in the comments section if you would like to see another video that covers how to add a piping. If this video reaches 100 likes, I will make another tutorial for you. And now, let's get sewing. To complete today's project, you will need some fabric, and depending on the weight of your fabric, you might need to apply some woven interfacing first. Whatever fabric you choose, make sure it is nice and soft to the skin, so it is comfortable to wear and you don't have any irritation. You will also need some fusible fleece. Very lightweight, low loft fusible fleece is the best for this project. Some sort of elastic. If you want, you can use a nice colorful elastic like this one. I have a sample here where I use this elastic. Or use more plain standard elastic and make a fabric casing for it. You might need some ruler to take some measurement. Seam ripper is always good to have on hand in case if something goes wrong. Your favorite marking tool. I'm going to use a corner shaper today. You'll need some snips, scissors. If you have a pinking shears, you might want to keep them on hand as well. And also pins and clips to hold your fabric in place. To begin, cut 2 pieces from your fabric and your fusible fleece and fuse the fleece to the wrong side of the fabric. Then cut additional rectangle from your fabric if you are making the casing for your elastic. The width and the length of it will highly depend on your preferences and the width of your elastic. I like my elastic about 28 centimeters long and I'm using 2 centimeters wide elastic today. You can make yours slightly shorter or longer depending on how tight you want your eye mask to be. The casing needs to be 2 times the width of your elastic plus additional 2.5 centimeters for the seam allowance. And the length is about twice the length of your elastic. It's always best to cut those pieces slightly longer because then if you need to, you can just cut it shorter. First take your casing and fold it in half right sides together along that longer edges. Then you're going to take this to the machine and we're going to sew the seam using 1 centimeter seam allowance. Using a safety pin, turn the casing right side out and then press the seam flat. Next you're going to take your elastic and we're going to fit the elastic inside the casing. So I'm going to use my safety pin again. And just insert the elastic inside. You can just take this to the machine now and we're going to baste both ends together. Take your pattern piece and make sure you transfer the notches because that's where we're going to place our elastic. Center the elastic at the notch on each side and you can clip that together. Here we go, just like that. Now you can take this to the machine and baste that elastic in place. I've got that basted. Now you're going to take the other piece, and if you are new to sewing curves, you might want to take the pattern piece, cut it out along that dotted line to use it as a template or maybe trace it on a separate piece of paper so you can just mark where is your stitching line. This way it might be easier for the next step. For me, I always find that it's enough if I just mark just around that curve here. Now you're going to take your pieces and place them right sides together. You're going to move this elastic inside, line it up around all sides and you can clip those 2 pieces together. Now we're going to take this to the machine and we're going to stitch around all sides using 1 centimeter seam allowance, but leave an opening around that top edge so you can turn the eye mask right side out later on. Okay, once you've got that stitched, you're going to take your scissors and we're going to snip close to the seam, just around those curves. So try to snip it as close as possible to the seam without snipping the stitches, to make sure that once you turn your entire mask right side out, there won't be any puckering here. If you don't have pinking shears, continue snipping or cutting little triangles around the entire mask, apart from that top straight edge. Otherwise, use your pinking shears and just cut the seam allowance by half. When you are ready, you can turn the eye mask right side out. So double check if there's no puckering. If the seam lays nice and flat, you've done a good job. Otherwise, just reach inside and maybe snip the seam allowance closer to the stitches. When you are happy with everything, you can just press the seam flat. Then you can just line up the top edge. So fold each side by 1 centimeter. Here we go, just like that. You can just press that as well. Now you're going to take this to the machine and we're going to top stitch around the entire eye mask, about 2 millimeters from the edge. And just like that, your eye mask is now completed. Congratulations! If you would like to see similar video, consider subscribing to my channel and I shall see you next time. Stay crafty, friends!